Ladies and gentlemen, picture this. You're standing in a jam-packed room, the kind of place where deals get done and destinies are decided. Suddenly, without so much as raising your voice or lifting a finger, all eyes swing your way. The air gets thick, conversations stumble and stop, and people start wondering just what you're about to unleash on them. It's not because you're the loudest or the flashiest person there, but because you've got that something extra, that raw, unyielding presence that makes people think twice about crossing you. That's the kind of power we're talking about today, straight from the shadows of Renaissance Italy and refined by the sharp wisdom of Niccolo Machiavelli. For years I've been immersed in his works, from The Prince to his less famous letters, putting his ideas to work in boardrooms, backroom deals, and even the dog-eat-dog world of American politics. And let me tell you, in a country as ambitious as ours, these principles aren't just some dusty old theories. They're the actual roadmap to real power. But here's the thing. What if I told you that the way you're speaking right now is either building up your empire or handing it over to somebody else? Stay with me, and by the time we're done, you'll know how to use words like a prince in a republic. And while you're listening, why not drop a comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from today? Are you hustling in New York, chasing dreams in California, or somewhere in the heartland? I'd really like to know. This isn't some feel-good workshop about being nice or getting everyone to agree. Forget about that. Machiavelli knew better. Power isn't won with smiles and handshakes. It's taken with precision and with the respect and fear you command. Real leaders don't have to ask for attention. They demand it the moment they start talking. Their words aren't just random chatter. They're a declaration of war on weakness. Short, sharp, like a rapier thrust. Every word hits hard. Every moment of silence hangs like a guillotine. You walk into any room and people straighten up and hold their breath, sensing they're in the presence of someone who isn't playing games. That's the ascent, folks. The climb above the crowd through rock-solid conviction and surgical restraint. When you speak, you don't explain or apologize. You state facts as if they're carved in stone, and if you get pushback, you don't argue. Instead, you let the quiet do the work, turning their doubt against them until it overwhelms them. That's the heart of Machiavellian speaking. Strip away the fluff and speak with the weight of destiny. I've seen it happen. CEOs who say just one sentence and watch the whole room change direction. Politicians who pause at exactly the right moment and take control of the narrative. Claim your words, own the moment, and the world will bend to your will. But power isn't just about what you say. It's also about what you don't say. That leads us to the second law. Master the silence before the storm. Weak people are terrified of silence. It exposes their insecurities, so they chatter on and on to fill it, mistaking loudness for courage. Leaders, on the other hand, embrace it. Silence builds tension like a coiled spring, drawing people in and making them reveal their innermost thoughts while you hold all the cards. Pause before you answer, lock eyes, and suddenly, time is on your side. The room is waiting for your next move. Machiavelli understood human nature perfectly. We're all slaves to fear and ambition. In that silence, they're dreading your judgment and hoping for your approval. It's not just empty space. It's a battlefield tactic. Let them fidget and over-explain. You've already won. Your silence speaks louder than their noise, tightening your grip with every second they squirm. You're not just there. You're the conductor, deciding when the symphony begins. Embrace the pause. It's your crown, and they kneel without even knowing why. I've experienced this firsthand in negotiations all across the country, from Wall Street trades to factory floors in the Midwest. One deliberate breath, and the other side folds, revealing information they meant to keep hidden. It's dominance in its purest form. Not just reacting, but directing. Now for the third law. Hone your words to a razor's edge. Most people use words like blunt instruments, clumsy, messy, and hoping to just graze their target. Leaders turn them into finely crafted blades, clean, lethal, and unerring. Precision isn't just a nice thing to have, it's the very essence of command. Cut through the confusion, and doubt vanishes. People don't question, they fall in line. Being vague? That's surrendering. Rambling invites chaos. Saying too much reveals your weaknesses. One sharp, clear statement shatters opposition faster than pages of pleading. Speak to dominate, not to soothe. Restrain yourself. Only say what advances your goal and leave everything else out. The less you offer, the more they project their own fears onto you, surrendering before the fight even begins. Strike with precision. Aim for their core vulnerability, without dancing around the issue. A carefully chosen phrase wounds deeper than any physical blow, and it's irreversible once it's spoken. But it's strategy, not malice. Efficient and controlled. Get rid of unnecessary words. They lighten your load and amplify your power. Your speech shines, free of doubt, commanding respect simply through its form. Let others flounder. Their sloppiness only highlights your steel. Don't debate. Eliminate the need for debate altogether. Vow right now. Sharpen your words relentlessly. Speak sparingly, but with deadly force. Less volume, more impact. Every word you utter, a judgment delivered. Over the years, I've watched American icons, like Lincoln in his debates or Reagan on the campaign trail, use this to perfection. One line, and history changes. Be that deliberate, that unforgiving. Fourth, develop a commanding presence. It's not just luck, it's something you create. You don't just stumble into being noticed, you engineer it. Your aura demands attention even before you say a word, and your words ride in on a wave of inevitability. Start with your posture, shoulders back, standing tall. It's a clear sign of unshakable resolve. Machiavelli knew that appearances matter more than facts. People follow the image of strength, not just the individual. Radiate strength, and submission follows without a word. Next, focus on your eyes. Steady, but not staring them down. It's an assessment, making them feel like they're being analyzed. Your movements? Slow, deliberate. Each one emphasizing your point. Use your body to emphasize your points. Stillness reinforces your commands. Energy is key. Conserve it. Don't let it leak out through fidgeting or excessive talking. Build suspense. Let them lean in, wanting more. It's like gravity. They're drawn to you, not the other way around. Consistency is essential. You're always on, your aura intact, even when you're not on stage. Leadership is an essential part of you, not just a performance. Combine it with your speech, and your words hit them in a visceral way. Mind, body, and spirit. Whisper, and armies will march. Yell, and no one will listen. Walk like royalty. Speak like law. People should feel your arrival before they even see you. From the halls of power in Washington, D.C., to the high-stakes pitches in Silicon Valley, I've seen presence turn the tide. Cultivate it. Make yourself impossible to ignore. Fifth, put on the mask of iron calm. True power is quiet, composed, and chilling in its stillness. Weak people reveal their true selves. They rage, whine, and panic, exposing their weaknesses to their enemies. Leaders conceal everything, mastering the art of unflappable poise. It creates both trust and fear. In times of chaos, people look for the person who remains steady. Calm isn't a weakness, it's a strategy, a fire burning beneath a layer of frost. If someone insults you, assess the situation, don't react. In a crisis, plan, don't panic. Conceal your inner turmoil. Let impulsive people self-destruct. Great leaders wait, watch, and strike with certainty. In speech, it elevates you. Your rare words carry the weight of prophecy, standing out against the constant noise. But it's a veiled threat. Push too far, and danger whispers without you having to shout. Project an aura of doom. Unbreakable, unstoppable. Machiavelli's ideal leader is both lion and fox, fierce yet cunning, with calm concealing sharp claws. Disarm your rivals, encourage them to underestimate you, and then unleash precise fury. Discipline is key. Never show any cracks. Your emotions, they're your servants, not your masters. Control yourself, or you'll never control others. Your poise, it's your throne on the battlefield. This mask of ruthless calm is your armor, but it's just the beginning of the deeper game. The sixth law, wield the twin forces of fear and respect. Weak men chase love, craving the fleeting satisfaction of being liked. But love fades under pressure and disappears when sacrifice is required. Respect, earned through discipline and dominance, holds firm. Fear, even sharper, ensures obedience when respect falters. Machiavelli's truth is harsh here. It's better to be feared than loved, but the real masterstroke is to command respect that's laced with fear. They're not opposites, they're allies, intertwined like steel cables. Fear without respect leads to revolt. Respect without fear invites challenge. Together, they make you untouchable. Your presence, your voice, your very shadow should carry a weight that makes people choose their words carefully, knowing there's a price for defiance. Consistency is essential. You can't demand reverence one day and then beg for approval the next. Every word, every action must reinforce your fortress of strength. Fear. It's not about making loud threats. It's the quiet promise of consequences. A calm correction. A silent departure. A single act of decisive retribution. Those resonate louder than screams. In boardrooms from Chicago to Los Angeles, I've seen men fail because they were desperate for affection. The ones who succeed, they make the room feel the cost of crossing them without ever raising a fist. Respect fills the space that fear creates, building a loyalty that endures. Speak with a tone that inspires awe but hints at danger. Never explicitly state the threat. It lives in your stillness, your control. People should seek your approval as much as they dread your judgment. That's the duality of true command. You're both the storm they fear and the beacon they follow. Now, the seventh law. Master the psychology of control. Power isn't about muscle or charm. It's about control, pure and simple. Control yourself, your surroundings, and the minds of those around you, and you become an unstoppable force. Start from within. A person who can't control their own impulses is just a slave in a suit. Anger makes you careless, desire makes you predictable, and fear makes you vulnerable. Discipline your mind until your emotions are tools, not chains. When others are raging, you remain like stone. When they panic, you remain like steel. That alone sets you apart. Next, shape perception. Because perception is power. Appear certain even when doubt gnaws at you, and appear unshaken even when the odds are stacked against you. Why? Because people don't follow truth. They follow the image of inevitability. In America's high-stakes arenas, think campaign trails or corporate wars, symbols matter more than facts. A flag pin, a firm handshake, a steady gaze. These are your symbols of power. Use them wisely. Control is also a form of psychological warfare. Don't ask for consensus. Declare the path forward. Replace "I think" with "this is." Finality bends minds to your will. Scarcity amplifies your power. The less you give of your time, your words, your approval, the more it's desired. Be rare, and you'll become irresistible. Manipulation, when done right, isn't deception. It's guiding human nature. Exploit their desires, fears, and insecurities, and guide them to your goals, making them think it was their choice all along. It's not cruelty, it's strategy. If you fail to shape their minds, someone else will, against you. Finally, enforce consequences. Your words aren't suggestions, they're orders that have real consequences. Reward loyalty, punish betrayal, and never bluff. Consistency forges chains stronger than iron. Control radiates from your core, shaping your tone, your timing, and your silence. The ultimate test: can you make others live in your reality, unaware that they're bound by it? That's the art of kings. Programming the world without making a sound. The eighth law: wield the ruthless art of influence. Influence isn't about begging for agreement. It's about dominating through suggestion, making others choose your path while believing it's their own. Words are your levers. Use them to shift empires. Credibility is the foundation. People listen to the voice they trust, not the loudest one. Build that credibility with your presence, your calm, and your precision. Speak less, but let each word you do speak land like it's gospel. Influence grows from understanding what people crave: validation, direction, certainty. Fulfill those needs, and you'll own their loyalty. Machiavelli saw people as selfish but predictable. Tap into their fears and ambitions, and they're yours. Don't push. Guide subtly, like a river carving through rock. A suggestion, framed in the right way, feels like destiny. Scarcity amplifies this effect. Rare praise becomes a treasure, and sparse guidance becomes prophetic. Limit your presence, and the desire for you will grow. Influence also spreads through momentum. Align yourself with symbols of destiny. Victories, loyal followers, compelling narratives. People flock to what seems unstoppable, the ruthless edge. Act on your influence, Steer minds toward outcomes that solidify your power, or you're just an entertainer. Morality bends to strategy. Play the role of savior or tyrant as needed, but always with your ultimate goal in mind. Storytelling seals the deal. Facts inform, but stories bind. Wrap your will in tales that resonate with the primal mind. Fear of loss, thirst for triumph. Invisible influence is the ultimate achievement. Plant ideas and let others claim them as their own. You pull the strings, unseen, and the world moves to your rhythm. The 9th law: build the fortress of untouchability. Power scatters if it's left unguarded, and influence fades if it's exposed. Untouchability is your shield, a fortress of mind, time, and reputation. Start with boundaries. Weak people let anyone drain their energy, while leaders ration access, making their presence a prize. Speak rarely, appear selectively, and your words will thunder, and your arrival will shift the atmosphere. Next, build emotional armor. Ignore insults, gossip, and criticism. To react is to bleed. Silence their noise with indifference. It's a weapon that humbles. Guard your reputation like a crown, not by chasing down rumors, but by living so fiercely that lies can't take hold. Strategic distance keeps you elusive. Too much familiarity breeds contempt. Hide a part of yourself. Mystery is your moat, making others cautious and unsure of your limits. Break free from your need for approval, validation, and affection. Need is a chain. Independence is steel. Unpredictability strengthens your walls. Be generous one moment and ruthless the next, always keeping your enemies off balance. Selective vulnerability, calculated glimpses of your humanity, can bind your followers to you, but never expose your core. This fortress isn't about isolation, it's about mastery. Move freely, but always remain invulnerable. Speak, but reveal only what serves your purpose. Lead, but never beg. From this fortress, your words carry inevitability, and your presence radiates defiance. Machiavelli warned about the inevitability of betrayal. Your fortress is the antidote, keeping your rivals guessing, your enemies at bay, and your allies loyal. The 10th and final law: ascend to power eternal. All of these laws, silence, precision, calm, control, influence, untouchability, are bricks in the foundation of your rise. But the final step isn't just mastering them, it's becoming them. Ascension isn't about titles or wealth, those can be taken away. It's about forging an identity so powerful that no challenge, no setback can diminish it. Your silence commands, your words cut, your calm intimidates, and your fortress holds firm, whether you're in a penthouse or a prison cell. Life is a battle, not of blood, but of positioning. Rivals are always lurking, and challenges are always arising. But the ascended leader turns every conflict to their advantage. Balance is key. Fear without respect leads to revolt, and calm without action breeds inertia. Wield each law with precision, adapting like a fox and striking like a lion. Your legacy is your true measure. Your influence lingers, your words echo, and your shadow looms even after you're gone. Machiavelli's enduring lesson is that leaders who last imprint their will on the psyche of their people. Sever weakness and embrace reality. Most people chase comfort. You seek control. Most crave approval. You demand obedience. Become the gravity that others orbit, the myth that they repeat. Ascension is instinct, not effort. Power fused into your very bones. You don't just wear it, you are it. Live differently, be judged differently, but be followed, revered, and eternal. From this day forward, you're not just training to lead, you're leading. You're not just chasing power, you are power. Cold, unshakable, and forever.